And welcome back to the Silver Lantern Archives. Today we continue on with the Echo of Ancients. The party, of course, has found themselves in trouble, and they not. But I'll leave it to them to tell you how they fucked up and why they're all covered in freezing cold water.
Again,
Again.
I'm starting to think water is our BBEG.
It can be. Also, someone other than me needs to do it because I was pretty much. All I did last session was run at Mach 9 to your location.
I'll do it. I'll be the one to talk about Zeke's shame.
Shame. Shame.
Okay, so we started off last session by waking up from a long rest, as rejuvenated as we could be from every fucking thing that happened last time. Anyway, we had some lively conversation. Of course, there was still some fretting over Z from Chiron because they're, still basically having hypothermia. Still have no idea where Sips or Fiki went, so we decided to split the party up a little. Chiron stayed back with Z, so whenever the elevator came back down, they could immediately take Z back up to get treated, while the rest of us went back to see if we could see any signs of Fiki and Snips. Didn't see any initially. The different loot items that were still on the beach were still where they were left, but we decided to look around a little bit. We decided to partner up in pairs to get a better, to be able to get a wider range of view. Those pairs were Elise and Noman, and Tweedledee and Tweedledum, aka Farley and Zeke. Well, Elise and Noman did their thing. We're looking around, doing really good. I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember much of what actually happened there. I don't know why I'm blanking. As for Zeke and Farley, they went to the opposite side and to where the ship had sank. Zeke looked down at it, looked to Farley, and went, "I wonder if I'll get in trouble for jumping in the water." Farley said yes. Zeke went, "Darn," then mumbled to himself, "I wonder if I can convince someone to throw me in the water so I don't get yelled at by Chiron." Farley let intrusive thoughts win, and into the water went Zeke. Elise and Noman heard the noise, came running to see what happened. Farley left out the part of him pushing Zeke in the water and just said that Zeke jumped in the water to investigate the ship. While they were all complaining, because why did Zeke do something that stupid, Farley said everyone's greatest fear of, at least it can't get worse. Though in his case it was, hey, at least we're not fighting ogres.
You didn't fight ogres.
Nope, definitely right about that. But something else came up and decided to smack they asses by plunging them into darkness. Only one that can see is Farley. So Farley's like, "Hey, you two, please go save my idiot friend." And fighting ensued. Farley was the main one fighting the creature, went down, had to do death saving throws, got back after many failed strength tests from Zeke. They all three, because Noman, Elise went in after Noman, and then somehow, or Elise went in after Zeke, and then somehow Noman came through. I believe the monster punted him in. Anyway, they all three came up. Zeke did a little baseball player running slide and somehow stabilized Farley. Don't really know how, don't ask. It was a miracle. And somehow defeated the creature, and now Zeke is about to get scolded by Elise. And potentially later on when we see Chiron again, a double scolding. So, hooray!
You might get a talking to from Nolan too. This was extremely silly.
But we rejoin the party moments after they brought down the strange creature that appeared from the darkness. Noman's the only one with the light at this point. Farley's unconscious on the ground. Zeke's in a pretty bad way. The only one who's not messed up right now is Elise. So what will the party do?
You said I have the light.
Yeah, you have the lantern.
I'm gonna shine the lantern like I know it's a regular lantern, so it's showing it's everywhere. But I'm gonna be looking at the monster to see what the hell this thing is.
Roll me Arcana.
The moment does that, Elise is going to go over and pick up Farley.
You can see it's got these weird, long, venomous, not that, claws that are dripping this strange liquid. There's odd curled horn coming out of the back of their head. Their teeth are too big for their mouth. It's not a good look overall.
What the hell dimension did this thing come from?
Considering how deep you are, probably the Underdark.
I'm going to call out to Elise. How are they doing?
They're alive and stable, but they need to rest. So did the two of you. You two are grabbing that corpse, and we're making our way back to the elevator.
I will look
And then
over.
we'll have a talk.
Wait, were you asking Noman to grab the corpse?
You both.
Zeke is not gonna put up any protest. He is clearly knows he's gonna get scolded and is like, I have no defense.
Noman's gonna grab one of the beast's ankles. Alright, Zeke, you get the other one.
Zeke will do as instructed and help Noman drag the creature's corpse back.
Elise will start leading the way back to the elevator after grabbing Fiki's spear and Chiron's lantern.
Okay. So, y'all are heading back?
Yeah.
Cool, yeah, Elise, you leading the way?
Elise is leading the way. I think I have... Do I have lantern oil? Of course not. Okay, she'll just put that away and pull out her greatsword and use that as a light source.
Fair enough. So Noman and Zeke are dragging the creature.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So y'all start to head on y'all's way back. Slowly making your way. You're not moving the fastest. Noman and Zeke, y'all are all kinds of messed up, still freezing cold. Can I get intelligence checks?
Intelligence? Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Whole party?
Mm-hmm. Elise, you're the one that thinks that as you're using your light, you kind of look back over your shoulder, make sure they're still following. It's been about 20 minutes since you left. And then you kind of do a head count and you look. You've got your sword.
I am carrying Farley.
Okay.
I said that right when Noman was doing the Arcana check.
I missed it. I was just like, did
Sorry.
we leave Farley?
No, we did not leave Farley.
That would be funny.
Karen would have killed you.
Oh, I know.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I thought that was heard.
No, I missed
Yes.
it.
It
Anybody
happens.
else
Sometimes
here?
they miss things. Yes,
No,
I can confirm. That was the first thing they said, is that they went and picked up Farley.
Okay,
I
good,
did hear that too.
good,
I
good.
can confirm also as the incapacitated guy who's near death.
as funny as it would be.
As funny as it would be, Chiron would kill you all, and it wouldn't matter that they're on 1 HP.
But y'all start making y'all's way back. The limp form of Harley kind of thrown over your shoulder. It's a long, long walk back, and it's not a happy one. There was nothing good that came of this this detour, and you hurt. But elsewhere, Chiron, you have picked up speed and you are running at full tilt. But as you are going, can I get a perception check?
Yes, you may. I need to check something. That is the wrong one. Nope. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Okay. I was indeed correct.
As you're going on, you start to hear the sound of distant thunder rolling
One,
through the town.
uno momentum.
Oh, do you have disadvantage?
I
Yeah,
have a level of exhaustion.
you didn't sleep. Yeah, you can still hear it.
But you were saying.
You can still hear it. The sound of distant thunder rolling through the tunnel.
I try and pinpoint where it's coming from.
Do you slow down to listen?
I will slow down slightly.
You slow down a bit, taking the time to hear over the sound of your own footprints, or the sound of your
Hooves.
own feet. There you have hooves. Hoof clops. As you are running along. You're listening, and eventually you come to a full stop as it sounds like the rumbling seems to be all around you.
I have two. I have my dagger and my short sword in hand. The dagger specifically said it's a moon touch dagger, but it's sun touched instead of moon touched.
Yum.
So same philosophy, but sunlight instead of moonlight.
Just not strong enough to actually do sunlight to fuck up a vampire.
Yeah, pretty much. That's why I was like, I went to go say a sun touch dagger, and then I was like, I'm gonna have to explain that one, because obviously it doesn't. Sun. It's just a yellow glow instead of a silver glow.
But as you hear it, you suddenly see around the corner a massive furry thing come flying down the corner. I need an acrobatics check.
Yeah. Oh, I can.
To try to dive out of this way as it comes sprinting down the tunnel.
Okay. Let me get the disadvantage.
You managed to dive out of the way successfully, getting out of the way of the goat, but you didn't see the thing that grabbed you by the scruff, and he yanks you up onto the back. You find yourself straddling the hips of this great furry beast, and after a second, you do recognize the beast as one of the ones the Legion used. It's a Fallon goat.
I don't actually. I was not with the party during any of those interactions.
I
I
think
thought
you
you were
ran in-
there when we ran into them again.
I don't think I
No,
was.
Kyra
No,
was
because they were
scouting.
hunting.
No, I was on the stealth. So the first time they got ran into, I was on the stealth mission, and the second time I ran into them, I was on the stealth mission. So no, I don't recognize it. Because the thing was, is you guys were running after us, knowing that you'd get there too late to help.
Please hold. And we continue on. You have been pulled on to the great furry back of some kind of strange creature, in which has a saddle, and you see in front of you a familiar back, as you see Priest Demetrios has recovered you and is charging down the tunnel in the direction you were going.
You got up to me fast.
Yes, sorry, it took so long. You took off rather suddenly.
Something's wrong. Something's wrong with Farley.
I see. Well, let us go together, not alone, yeah?
They will nod, and will give just the most accurate of directions.
They are speeding down, moving at a decent clip, a little bit faster than you, but not by much. The horned creature on the back of what you are now sitting on seems to be moving relatively easily in the tunnels. You had a little bit of trouble in some places finding your footing due to the oddity of being underground, but this goat's just on the ball.
Zoom.
A little while later, can I get a perception check from the rest of the party?
I'm supposed to be the one that has good perception. God damn.
Ezekiel, do remember you have disadvantage right now.
Oh, that's right. I apologize.
They rolled better.
Zeke, you're the only one that catches it, as the others are just trying to move. You hear something is charging, and something is charging fast, directly in y'all's direction.
Zeke's going to yell out, "Walls, now! Do not get hit!" and is going to push or pull, whichever one is easier. I don't remember how wide you said these things are, but
About 10 feet.
him. Okay, but he's gonna try and pull him, the creature, and Noman to flush against the wall.
Alrighty. Elise, what are you gonna do?
I press Farley up against the wall and just hold the great sword out in front of her.
It takes a couple seconds, but eventually all of you hear the thudding of something charging.
Oh, great. What's now?
Anything else?
Let's
from the other
hope
two?
that's Chiron coming back with reinforcements.
Just stay behind me, and if it attacks, take Farley and run.
I will make sure Farley is safe. That was the amount of pause between.
You see all of a sudden the area in which you is flooded with light as this great shape comes flying around the corner with a bright light on its back. How do y'all react as it comes to a sudden stop in front of y'all?
Do I recognize the shape?
No, you're a little bit blinded.
Nolan would like shield his eyes and and call out, "Who goes there?"
I get the distinct feeling there is a steady thud as Zeke gets tackled.
Oh.
Yeah, just fucking Chiron missile. As you guys will hear, you will see a small figure just hit the ground, clomp of hooves, and then the tackle of Zeke. Zeke, you are getting tackled, and there is just a red blur as they are checking you for injuries.
Honestly, Zeke is probably used to this, so it's like as soon as they get tackled, they're like, alright, I'm either gonna be killed or it's Chiron. If I get stabbed, I fight back. If not, I'm good. And he's just waiting to see if the stab comes.
No stab. You know Chiron. They might be tiefling, but they're just like an oversized cat. You're getting looked over, sniffed. And once they realize that you are, while beat to shit, you're alive and breathing, they look you in the eye and then turn and look to where Farley is and jump over that way.
At least there's a red beast coming at you and coming at you fast.
I've got him, Chiron.
Oh, that's Chiron. Oh,
You see the small figure of something else getting off of the large goat, in which you now recognize to be one of the fallen goats.
Also, Elise, you do hear Chiron growl and tell you to give them Farley.
Okay.
They mean no
Farley's
offense, they're
unconscious,
just
but he gets
worried.
this.
Oh.
Yeah, Farley is unconscious and doesn't realize this, but they get the same treatment, just a lot more gently. Because if Elise is still holding them up, then something's wrong. But go ahead, Zap.
Yeah, Zeke just responds, no, Chiron means no offense, they're just worried.
I understand that. You look after those that you're in charge of.
At least you see the figure come out from next to the fallen goat, and you recognize the same priest who's been taking care of y'all lately. Priest Demetrius.
Matthias?
Well, looks like you've been busy while we were away. How can I help?
Healing for the rest of them. If you have it in you, I'm fine.
I could do some coffee.
I'll be fine with some sleep, it's okay.
Demetrios is going to go over to look at Farley. Chiron, are you going to allow him?
I am. That being said, Farley is still soaking wet, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so Chiron is quite literally in the midst of getting his wet clothes off and is once again cursing under their breath about the fact that the party is wearing sopping wet clothes in this tunnel.
Question, I didn't think
Yeah, no, wait, Farley isn't. He's just bloody.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, the only reason my clothes are soaked is because all my blood is currently not in my body.
Yeah,
That's
it's
fine.
just Noman and Zeke.
Okay,
And
then...
Elise.
Okay.
No, Elise is not, because he had the heat
Oh,
metal.
yeah.
You're crispy. So, yes, Chiron will back away so that he can get to Farley, because obviously he is the most injured, and it is going to look at Zeke and go, out of the wet clothes, now.
Zeke is going to comply, but while stripping, he's just gonna mumble, man, at least buy a guy a drink first, jeez.
You get growled at.
I'm sorry.
No one needs no provocation to strip. He literally just whips off his clothes like a like a like like a matador.
Fair. Do also note you have to take out your armor, so this is taking a little while.
I think the cloak will it shifts to me, right?
Yes, but it is still under armor. So to get it off, you need to take off the armor first. But, because that's the thing about those clothes, they don't change the armor. You specifically need glamour studded leather for that. But you see Demetrios look over Farley for a little bit before placing a hand on him, and the spear leaning against the wall starts to glow for just a moment.
Peaky spear?
No, the one Demetrios was holding.
Okay.
And Farley, you are going to regain 13 HP.
Blue! Unmute!
Harley is alive.
Farley just kind of like opens his eyes but doesn't say anything.
Looks like you've been through quite the ordeal.
He just nods yes.
Come on, up you get. We have a long way to go yet.
He follows.
Aren't you heavily
Demetrios
exhausted?
offers a hand.
What was that, Mom?
Isn't Farley heavily exhausted? Like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
think at movement penalty exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's one off of not being able to move at all.
Pretty much.
Also, I just realized technically Zeke is also slow movement exhausted.
You walk back, Farley? Or do you want help?
He just waves his hand, saying, meaning no.
Okay.
He's good.
At this point, if you hear a voice in your head, it's likely not you going crazy. Just a forewarning. It's thrown me off a few times.
Chiron, you can see as Farley is brought back to his feet, his eyes are half closed and his shoulders extremely sagged.
Elise?
Yes, Chiron?
Mind putting Farley up on the goat?
Not an issue. Up you go, Farley.
He just nods as he gets on.
You manage to get up on the goat. The goat turns around to look at you.
He doesn't respond to it.
Fair.
Farley is EP.
Does any of the rest of the party do anything?
Once his clothes and his armor and clothes are off, no one's gonna basically turn his clothes into like a regular old cloak and start wringing them out.
Fair.
I'm starting to think that water is our main enemy right now. That are flowing water. Both are fine, I hope.
Chiron's gonna look, like, as we're starting to move back towards the lift, Chiron is going to look at Zeke and go, I am out of patience. You are learning to swim.
Look, okay, I thought I was slowly getting better, but apparently I still suck at it. It's not my fault.
You have put it low on the list of things to learn. It is now the first and foremost.
Oh. He's just gonna whine and follow behind.
I have to say, in terms of reckless behavior, that was right up there.
You can tell me all about it when we get back up.
Preferably with a bowl of hot soup, maybe some tea.
Nod, nod.
As y'all are moving, suddenly you'll find the entire tunnel shaking. It's not a hard shake, but enough to make you stumble a little bit and need to grab the wall to hold yourself in place.
Oh, what fresh hell is this?
That's not good. You hear from Demetrius.
From
Cave in or
Ezekiel.
something else?
What did Zeke say?
Zeke was just gonna say, "It was not me this time. I am staying out of trouble."
And what did Elise say?
Cave in or something else? Asking.
The section under rocks that we are in are completely stable. There should be a cave in.
And what else would it be?
I'm not sure, which is significantly worse.
I will mention that Elise would have taken the corpse that was on the ground from the two injured party members.
Fair. The two, naked, mostly, now party members as well.
Mm.
I got some undergarments on.
I said mostly. You're unarmored.
I have weapons drawn, standing in front of Zeke.
It takes a couple seconds to pass, but soon everything goes back to being silent. You can see Demetrios is scanning every inch of the tunnel that y'all are in, looking for anything coming this way, listening as best he can.
Same.
I know we're all tired, wet, and injured, but maybe we should a quick step, get out of here.
It's at that point y'all hear in the deep, deep distance the sound of some kind of wailing. This constant hum of a sound. How do y'all react as it echoes down the tunnel?
Is this coming from the direction we're going? Back to the elevator?
Yes.
Elise is going to station up in front of everyone.
Does it sound monstrous at all? Like, is it like you said it's wailing, but like, does it sound threatening?
Not really, it's just really loud and really weird. It's this constant drum that goes up and then down.
Okay, you described it as three different things, like humming, wailing, and drumming. Like,
It's a single sound that's going up and then down. It is a loud noise, but it's hard to pick out exactly what it is.
even to Noman's trained musical ear.
Yes, because it's very distant. It's not a sound you've heard before.
Well, proceed with caution. Chiron growls and then says to proceed with caution.
You start to move forward, and you notice Demetrios, who's leading the group, is frozen still.
Are you okay, Demetrios?
As you move around to look at him, you see his jaw is slightly open and his scales look a little more gray. His eyes wide.
Noman is going to look ahead to see what Demetrios is seeing. He's
There's
holding up his
nothing there.
lantern to like.
Just more tunnel.
I'm gonna reach a hand out and put it on his shoulder.
You can still see him breathing, and it takes a couple seconds. That was the call.
The call of what?
Mhaldunn has been breached.
By the goblins?
I don't know. But Ezekiel, he is immediately going to turn in a flurry of movement and get you up on top of the creature as well, as they were going to your speed, since you are slower. We need to move quickly. Are you ready to run? He is
How
asking
many
of Noman, Chiron, and Elise.
Okay, so it's Zeke that got put up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chiron nods yes.
Let's do it. Running will warm up the body.
Y'all hear that continuous drone in the distance as Demetrius sets off at a good jog. He has almost doubled, tripled y'all's original pace as he is pushing y'all hard, determined to get back to the end. Do y'all do anything as y'all are running?
Lee's going to keep the eye on Chiron and Noman in case they start falling behind.
Chiron is ahead of you.
I know.
I will run circles around you all day, every day.
Well, I'm sure putting my armor on the run is impossible, but
Correct.
could I put my cloak back on and allow it to change into clothes as I'm running?
Yeah.
If I'm not running in the battle like in my underwear.
Yeah, they're still damp, but it doesn't feel good.
It's fine. Better than having easily targetable targets. If you get my drift.
Fight
So,
with
yeah,
our nips out. Let's go.
Are you a barbarian or something?
But it's a long run, over 40 minutes of just constant droning. It gets louder and louder as you approach. And Chiron, interestingly enough, you never see the other Legion members that came down here with Demetrios when you first came down.
I assume they turned back around. Is what my assumption is that they turned around.
You don't say anything about it, though.
Realizing it, I probably give Demetrios a look in the we're not running into our companions. Because he would know too.
He is completely focused on what's ahead. He's not looking around at y'all at the moment. He is complete focus at the moment.
Then
No.
if he's not saying anything, then no, I'm not going to say anything about it. I'm just going to keep pushing.
Not long after that, y'all find yourself surging back into the room. Demetrios is the first one back on the elevator. Alright, most of you aren't ready for a fight, but Elise, you are?
Yeah, I am.
Then come with me. We'll go up first, make sure it's a clear landing.
Okay.
They step on and wait for you.
Oh, you still step on.
It's a two quick stomps, and the elevator starts to go up, leaving Noman Chiron and Farley behind, along with the corpse. Or did you drop that when you had to start running? Because it would have slowed you down considerably.
Would at least be bothered by the corpse? with
Yes.
Steady?
Even with that, it would be hard to move around with.
Yeah, would have dropped it.
Yeah, so it's back there somewhere. Because it's obnoxiously large and heavy.
Yeah.
Unwieldy, hard to run with.
What armor is Noman and like what type? Light, medium?
Light and
I
medium, if I
wear,
remember right.
I wear leather armor.
Okay.
Mail for
Like-
me.
Oh, no, heavy. For Zeke.
Okay. Noman, it takes the lift a minute to get to the top, doesn't it?
I believe it takes 5.
Takes 5. So it takes 5 minutes to get up and down, which means both of you have time to put your armor back on.
Mm-hmm.
The moment that thing starts going, Chiron looks at you, tells you both, get in your armor now.
Zeke will do that. And no, it is medium armor, CC.
Chain mail?
Gale mail.
Oh, scale mail. I thought you
Yeah.
said chain mail.
Chiron is going to help Zeke as his takes longer.
If I remember the
And just-
timing, it's 1 minute for light, 5 for medium.
Mm-hmm. And then 10 for heavy, so...
Yeah.
Both of them have plenty of time to get them on, but with Zeke being exhausted, it's going to take longer, so Chiron's going to help.
And to go ahead and state this so it's known, as soon as the armor is fully on, Zeke is taking out his shield as well.
Okay, that takes an action to put on. Farley, what are you doing during this?
Lou, you're muted.
Stupid screen. Sorry. Could you repeat that? I kind of lost you for a second.
What are you doing? You're at the foot of the elevator. Elise and Priest Demetrios have gone up ahead to make sure the way is safe, with the rest of y'all being as injured as you are.
He's kind of just like looking forward. He doesn't actually register any outside stimuli at the moment. He's kind of. You don't know whether he's in deep thought or he's gone blind.
Can I get a perception from you, Farley?
Oh, I forgot I was still on GM rolls.
It's an 11. You hear
Yeah.
thud, 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 even through your daze.
I kind of like turn around to see if it's behind us.
No, it's off from the right.
I telepathically messaged to Chiron and said, there's a noise coming from the right. I don't know what it is.
Is the right where the door's at?
It is.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. Chiron's gonna look at the party or specifically look at Farley and go, get behind Zeke.
I just nod.
I am going to go be a wall. A very piss poor wall, but a wall.
Thud, thud, thud.
No one will step up next to Chiron, seeing as he was the only other person there that doesn't have any exhaustion.
You also have quite a bit more HP than I do.
Exactly.
I can take a singular hit. I will not, depending on how hard it hits, I might not even live through it. Like, actually live through it.
No one will draw his rapier and stand side to side with you and look down at you. Well, this should be interesting.
And then it all goes quiet again. The thudding suddenly stopping.
No one like blinks and looks at the door and like.
You cannot see it from where you're standing. You
I'm
have
sorry,
to go into the hallway.
Looks towards where the door would be, like the hallway.
Chiron's gonna crouch in the shadows, both weapons drawn, ready to strike if an enemy comes forward.
Do I have these?
Anything from Zeke and Farley in the back?
Farley's pretty much ready to cast another spell, even if it destroys his body more.
And I apologize, I missed what was said because
Reasons.
Yeah.
The thudding suddenly stopped.
The door that we were told not to open, there was thudding. It had stopped.
okay, that was the last thing I heard. I just didn't know if there was anything after that.
No.
Okay. Zeke isn't gonna do much because while he wants to be in the front because he has the medium armor and the shield, he knows he'll get yelled at by Chiron if he moves forward. So he's kind of just sitting there behind him, like ready to push one of them to the side to take a hit or something.
You're on protect Farley duty.
No. Okay.
Because Farley was told to stand behind you.
That's right.
And we saw how well that worked last time.
You telepathically hear in your head, Chiron, I don't need protection. They can fight if needed.
Chiron doesn't even turn around Farley before saying, "You are out of magic and squishy."
I just nod.
CC, remind me. Exhaustion for spell slots. That's so it would be 2 exhaustion for a level 2 spell slot, right?
Correct.
And there's me, Zeke, Farley, and Chiron here. Chiron, I think you would be fine if I didn't cast invisibility on you, right? Because you can hide pretty well.
No, I can hide just fine, yeah.
And how many people can I cast invisibility on? Like,
One.
oh, right, it's concentration. God damn it.
Mm-hmm.
Above table, so my suggestion would be to give it to Farley. Or yourself.
Just remember, it's going to break whenever that person attacks.
And knowing Farley, that wouldn't take long at all.
No.
But still, the only thing you hear is the thrum of the siren high above you.
Well, waited for with bated breath. Either what's coming through that door is coming, and we'll have to meet it, or the lift's gonna get down here and we're getting the fuck out.
I really hope that lift does not take too long.
And
The goat's still down here, isn't it?
it is. 10 long minutes go by. Nothing really happens.
Is the pulley system working?
And you have no idea. It's not up where you are. It's high above.
Oh, right.
You did see the elevator go up, though.
If I look up, do I see the base of the elevator going down?
You do not at the moment. But a little while later, you do eventually hear it making its way back down.
Oh, thank the gods above.
You see the ram is the first one to get on the elevator.
And they have Farley.
I don't think so at the moment. I think Farley got off, didn't he?
I don't think I physically can get off the goat.
No, fair enough. Do any of you go up with it?
Wait. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say we are not all going to fit on it. Zeke, go up with Farley.
He's going to whine a little bit and look hesitant before he finally sighs and gets on with Farley.
I'll see you on the flip side.
You see the goat makes 2 stomps just like Demetrius did. Then the elevator starts to disappear up into the sky. Or into the wall above you. Ceiling. That's what a
Ceiling.
top wall is. It's a ceiling. I swear I'm smart. But they quickly disappear, leaving just Noman and Chiron standing alone in the dark.
Well, it's not dark. I have my dagger in hand. Or it's my
Surrounded
dagger.
by dark.
Yeah.
I got my lantern out, yeah.
By this point, your lantern would have gone out.
Then I relight it. I have more oil.
Good. Because remember, oil only lasts an hour. Or is it 6
Oil
hours?
lasts 6.
Okay, then
It's
it's
6
fine.
hours. A torch, I think, lasts an hour.
Yeah, it might be what I'm
That
thinking
also
of.
might be a candle. That's one of the two.
I don't know off the top of my head, but did the 2 of you do anything as you'll stand alone, surrounded by miles upon miles of stone? A great city above you, under attack. Your friends going up without you.
Back to
Beaky
back,
and
Noman.
Snips still missing.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fair plan. And no one will put his back toward Chiron. Well, I guess more like he'll put his thighs towards Chiron.
No matter what happens, it was an honor fighting with you.
If I survive, I shall tell your story.
At that point, you'll hear a large come echoing down the hallway.
Okay, yeah, fuck that. Chiron, you might want to hide. No one will cast invisibility on himself.
I'll put the glowing, my weapon my dagger away so that it's not glowing, and hide into the darkness.
Does invisibility covers everything I have, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does that include the lantern?
Yep. Which means
What
it
does
would
it
stop giving off light.
Yeah, I thought so. So Noman is just gonna like head over to where he remembered the wall being and just put his back against it.
Fair. You now have 2 levels of exhaustion, I believe.
Oh no, I had spell slots.
Oh, okay.
I was asking because I wanted to know if I could be able to cast it among
Another
multiple
time.
people, but yeah, I have 2 spell slots though for level 2 though. So
But after that crack, even the siren above suddenly goes quiet. What do you do?
Chiron is hiding, and is just. I think at this point, the only thing that they're really thinking is, by the gods, Fiki and Snips, if you're alive, get here now, before that lift comes back.
The moments stretch on, one after the other.
I want to say, no one's gonna have an idea. He's gonna put his lantern right at where the base of the elevator is, like where the stairs leading up to it, I'm assuming are.
Okay.
He's gonna leave it there, so the cavern, at least the cavern, is lit up for 60 feet all around.
does. It pops back into existence when you put it down.
Yeah, I'm gonna run right back to my wall.
The moments stretch on, now being able to see at least a little bit better, but on the other side, while here in the light, you can see well, makes it so that you can't see into the dark. As your
That's
eyes are
fine.
not adjusted, and you have no idea what's moving out there.
That's fine. I only put it out there so I can know when the elevator gets back, so we can immediately run toward it.
1 minute becomes 3, becomes 6, with not a single sound. Everything is deathly quiet, almost as if you're standing in a graveyard. Soon, though, you begin to hear the rickety sound of the elevator lowering itself into position.
As it comes back down, I'm going to sheath my short sword, and I am going to grab my bow and knock an arrow. And once it is fully down, I'm gonna hop on and wait for Noman. Specifically, I am not going to do, like, I am standing on this waiting for Noman to basically reach out and put a hand on me, is what I assume that he's gonna do. But I'm not gonna say anything for risk of getting overheard.
As soon as I saw the thing touch down, I'm going to just walk over, very carefully, very silently as I can, because I don't want anything to hear me.
Only stealth.
Come on, stealth. You're one of my better skills. Yes.
You manage to get on without making a sound. The elevator sways slightly as you step on, though. Chiron, you can feel the difference. Something's got onto the elevator with you. And
I'm
you
looking
really
around.
hope it's Noman, because you don't see anything.
Yeah.
Noman's
I'm
gonna
going.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you go first.
Noman will lean real close to Chiron's ear and whisper, "Hey, Chiron, you need to go."
The moment that happens, Chiron stomps their hoof twice.
As you do, the elevator begins to lift, going back towards the city. Do the two of you have anything to say as you ascend? Or do you wait with bated breath?
I will say, I know I didn't say I grabbed my lantern. I did that on purpose. I'm leaving it there just in case something tries to rush at us.
Fair.
I am basically, because as soon as we get out of range of that, Noman's blind, which means I'm the only one that can properly defend. So
Why don't you just put the lantern on the elevator?
Huh?
Never mind.
It's too late now, and we didn't think about it. That's why.
The lantern.
No, I didn't hear. Oh no! Like I said, I was leaving that there on purpose.
The lantern slowly disappears, the light of it going out, leaving you only with the dark as you disappear up the tunnels. As you see, this time the other levels aren't lit. Everything is dark.
I'm going to, he whispered in my ear, so I'm going to start to gauge exactly where Noman is. So that way I can start doing, basically moving around him in a circle as I am scanning the area, weapon drawn, just in case something attacks us from the dark.
Nothing does. It is quiet as y'all go all the way up, lost in the dark. Your world not spreading beyond the walls of the elevator shaft. And eventually you find yourself coming to a halt, still in the dark. Noman, you still see nothing. But Chiron, you see yourself standing among the others. Demetrios wielding the wheel. And he waves you off the elevator.
Since I've been moving around him, I'm gonna grab Noman's hand. Or what I hope is his hand. It might be a leg. I'm grabbing a hold of Noman and pulling him off with me so that I actively know where he's at.
God, I was so tempted to say something very, very fucked up.
For your own sake, I would keep quiet.
Yeah.
That being said,
I'm just saying. I was standing. Chiron's very short.
yes.
But yeah, but you grab hold of Noman's hand. Yes, you grab hold of his hand and you pull him off.
Yeah.
Why did fucking tokens
didn't
keep
do it.
getting duplicated today? But currently, Zeke, you as well cannot see Farley. You can, and Elise, you cannot, as Demetrios has informed you to keep the blade sheath for the moment.
Okay, she'll swap it out for Fiki's spear then.
As Chiron, you were able to get off and join the others. Do you say anything to them as you arrive?
Once I get close enough, I will whisper, I have Noman.
Farley, you look around and see no sign of Noman.
I just shrug.
I got him, I swear.
No one will whisper. I'm right here.
At this point, the group of y'all hear Demetrios' voice again. Alrighty. Most likely the city is going into powder saving. The people have gone into the bunkers, and the Legion is on the move. We will need to move carefully to make sure there's nothing here that is going to attack. Make yourself a daisy chain. Hold on to one another and follow me.
Zeke is going to... Oh wait, no, he can't see, so he wouldn't even know where Elise is.
Yeah, I'm going to... Chiron's going to start taking rope and tying... is going to start gathering the rope and start tying it around everyone's waist, leaving about... They have enough space that we're going to be able to walk in a line, like, 5 feet. But... Which is probably going to take a couple of ropes. But daisy chain it. So that we're all connected to each other. And then... I'm going to look at Demetrios and go, can you see?
Yes. I will be fine.
You lead. I'll cover the back.
You see...
And I will tie myself to the, end of the daisy chain.
He starts to move. Farley, by the way, the sheep you were on has since turned into a statue and gone into one of Demetrios' pouches, so you're back to walking again.
Probably not.
But Demetrios starts to lead y'all, moving slowly and carefully through the halls, heading towards the forge. You see, as you'll reach the great room of which the forge is lit, you see, while the center lava still glows softly, all of the rest of the lights have gone out. Demetrios hangs off to the right, slowly making his way past the pillars, one by one, before leading y'all across a bridge that overlooks the forge's cooling system.
Farley, Zeke, start moving your tokens.
Oh, sorry.
What do you
Right.
mean? We're still on the same map.
Blue
you might wanna
reload.
refresh. We're on the city map.
Oh no, where is everyone?
Down south.
Okay.
But you see he is continuing this way. He is still being careful, and oddly enough, for everything you saw, Demetrios' words seem to speak true as you don't see another soul as y'all move around. You see things half done left around, but none of the other kobolds. No movement, only silence. You imagine this is what Mhaldunn was like when the dwarves first disappeared from its halls. He comes in, he goes to the edge of the hallway and waves y'all forward.
Past him or
Yeah, down south.
oh, to our rooms.
Yes. Go. Take your time to rest. There will be much more need of you soon enough. But you cannot fight in this condition. Your friend is already down
Farley,
there.
you're in mine.
We all go to our own rooms or just pile up in one?
They sent you down that way.
Yeah. Noman Farley, get in my room.
What?
I assume Zeke's in our room.
Yes.
Or,
Yeah.
well, Zeke and Z.
You see the tall cat is currently laid out on what would normally be your bed, Chiron. As they are still a cat. Meow, meow.
No one's gonna look around and look at least. Oh, you got your own room?
Yes, and Farley gets the bed.
Riley shakes his head no.
You are resting. You're
He goes
spent,
to eat.
and you'll be less than useless on the battlefield.
He just goes to sleep in the chair.
Riley, stop being obstinate and just get in the damn bed. When a woman like Elise tells you to get in the bed, you get in the damn bed.
Get in the bed, because Noman gets the chair.
Riley nods and goes over.
Y'all are still hours away from a good rest. But y'all are able to sit, have at least some comforts. Because y'all are still only like 2-3 hours into the day.
Yeah.
A little bit farther than that, but
Yeah,
because it took us it took us an hour to get from the lift. It took them an hour from the lift to where they were, and then
that's
we
why I
had
said
to walk.
that
And
much.
yeah,
It's in that
and
area.
then it's probably been about 4 hours.
Still early in the day. But you see Z is curled under the blankets in a tight ball as you enter.
I'm gonna see if they've see if they've woken up,
They have
check
not.
and make sure they're still breathing and all that.
They're still doing that. You see, they have been given fresh clothes. It doesn't fit them very well, but it beats what they were wearing. It's
Fair.
effectively more wrapped than actual clothes, which you suppose is lucky because there's no way kobold clothes would fit these things or fit the cat.
Fair.
But now that the party has reconvened, you are safely once again together. What will you do?
Chiron's gonna look at Zeke. What happens?
Well, we went to try and find Snips and Fiki. We decided to pair up into groups of 2 to search the area a bit more efficiently. Noman and Elise went on their own, so that left me and Farley together.
Face palms.
Do I need to explain past that?
Yeah. Yes, you do.
Okay. I'm not quite sure what Elise and Noman did, but me and Farley went towards the water, towards the end where the boat sank, and I may have said that I wanted to go into the water to look, but I didn't jump on my own.
Did you make a comment that made Farley push you?
In my defense, I thought I was quiet enough to where he wouldn't notice.
Chiron walks up to you and smacks you upside the head. You know better.
Why am I getting in trouble when it was Farley who did it?
Something
Just
that you
gives
do
you a
notice
look.
after you get slapped, Zeke, there are a bundle of very warm looking wraps that you think you could replace your current dripping wet clothes with.
Neat. I didn't say this. I thought I meant to say this, but I didn't. But it was basically as soon as Zeke got into the room, he was going to start stripping into only his undergarments.
You do see they look relatively warm. It might help you warm back up. If you can figure out how to wrap them.
And Zeke's just going to dive under the blankets.
Fair enough.
Chiron's taking your clothes and putting them near the fire so that they'll properly dry out. Before they look at you and go, stay put.
I kind of want to ask something, but at the same time, I feel like I will not be able to phrase it well. So I will sit here and try and behave.
Mm-hmm.
Just an
I'm gonna
unconscious
go and
cat to keep you company.
And
Mal.
Roxy.
So you summoning her back out? She's
I
hiding
am.
in the other space. She's going, I'm staying here. But they
Yeah.
come back.
Zeke will summon Roxy back out.
But Elise, you hear your door open and close again.
Aaron,
Yeah.
I apologize.
I should have warned you not to pair up Farley and Zeke.
I should have
Leaving
known
those.
better.
You haven't traveled with them long enough.
I have traveled with them long enough to know better at this point than put them together.
They mean well. They're
They
just
do, but they're a
chaotic.
magnet.
What
Well,
happened on your and Noman's end?
Nothing. We heard the splash and ran over. Didn't see a damn thing.
Chiron will nod. Looks at Noman as he went to go say something.
I was going to say, well, chaos can be entertaining at some point. You have to balance chaos with rational thought, and I don't think there's a rational thought between those two. I know for a fact Farley can hear me.
They are occasionally capable of rational thought. Their chaos energy bounces off each other.
Noman continues to hang his cloak in front of the fireplace. This room has a fireplace too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's just like shaking it out, trying to get it nice and dry while warming himself up too. Maybe next time I should go with Zeke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I will admit I'm impressed with Farley.
He's good in a fight. Again,
More than
they're
good,
both
a bit scary. Held that
That
thing
too.
off by himself for a while.
Is that why he's beat the shit the most?
Yeah. Had to go into the water yet again.
Elise, it's at that point
Swimming
you're
lessons.
remembering. You're still not entirely sure how Noman ended up in the water with you.
Not too concerned about it.
Okay.
If Elise looks over at Noman, she'll probably see like the claw marks on my back. The wounds from the beast stabbing me in the back while I was holding the rope. But no one will say in response to everyone talking about Farley's fighting skills. I don't think that when they made Farley, they did not add the word "quit" to his vocabulary.
Not in the slightest.
We know his limits, at least.
Does he? He was casting spells that he should not have had the energy to do.
And hence why he should be sleeping, Farley.
Farley asleep, or is he just listening to us talk?
Blue's not muted, but I think maybe they're.
Oh, there
wait,
he's typing.
No response. Chiron's gonna go up to Farley and check on them. Farley, are you awake or asleep?
You think he's awake, but he doesn't seem to register movement or anything. And also, this is like the longest, besides the telepathic talk. This is the longest you've heard Farley not say anything, like, ever.
Chiron's gonna get concerned and crawl into the bed and just kind of, like a cat, and just kind of headbutt you in the cheek gently, just like, Farley.
He turns his head over to look at you, and you've never seen someone look straight at you but not recognize you.
I might not recognize that from you, but oh god, did I recognize that. Elise and Noman, you will see Chiron get actively concerned. And they're just Farley, they are like just whispering your name and telling you to come back, and just they keep headbutting you every now and again, looking to see if they can get just any kind of visual response, verbal, something to acknowledge that they're there.
You telepathically hear, "I am fine. Everything is good."
You just get back liar. And more concern.
I am fine. I've understood what went wrong today.
Ron's gonna curl up on Farley's chest and just curl into a ball and enter loaf cat mode.
I kind of go back to staring up at the ceiling until I eventually either fall asleep or something happens.
With how exhausted you are, I'm thinking falling asleep is the more likely outcome.
What about the other three? Do y'all do anything as Farley continues to zombie mode over there?
Lisa's watching on. She's just guarding the door.
No one's gonna look
Chiron.
around. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say Chiron is going to be in loaf mode on Farley, just purring softly. They are just cat. The cat might be in the other room, but it is also apparently on Farley's chest. They say purring has healing properties. Chiron is sending healing into Farley.
No one's gonna look around. Are there any of those wraps that you mentioned in Zeke's room in here?
Yes.
No one's gonna grab a pair and wrap it around himself. Ah, it's so much better.
Probably Elise size. That's the funny bit too.
Yeah, so it's like full on. He's full on, freaking Jedi robing it.
You see, nothing really happens as y'all wait. The hours slowly tick by. No one coming back to check on. No sign of Fiki. Snips. Z doesn't get back up. Zeke doesn't come to join y'all as well. It's just the four of you, sitting quietly.
Elise is pressed up against the door, so she is listening.
You hear nothing. For a city
Would you
as
say-
large as this, you know there should be movement, but nothing.
You're damn quiet out there.
Would you say a short rest would be have had?
Oh yeah, 3 short rests.
Okay.
Second
We'll use
wind.
it.
Does second wind come back? Second wind does come back on short rest.
I'm gonna use all my hit dice to heal up.
That puts me at max.
2, 3, 10, 14. That puts me at 30. So I am no longer bloody. And do I get anything back from short resting?
As a bard, I think you might get inspiration, but that's about it.
No. I expend any I regain any expended uses after a long rest.
Oh damn. What would the party do?
Yeah, the short rest inspiration is until 5th level.
Mm.
Chiron will, like, at one point get Farley to eat something. And yes, Farley, I will spoon feed you if I have to.
He eats and everything, and he's fine like that. He just doesn't verbally talk.
That's fine. It's not, but as long as you're eating, after you eat, Chiron is gonna go, I'm gonna go check on Z.
You said we will get 3 short rests, right?
At least.
All right,
Been
then
3 hours.
everyone in the room who used the hit dice would get 3d6 because it's
That's
a
not
d6
how that
per
works.
short.
You'll use your hit dice at once, so it would have been 1.
All right. So that, and then 5. And I'm
Doesn't
going
matter
to
for me.
I'm going to head over to check on everyone too.
Just leaving Farley here to stare at the
Well,
Elise
ceiling.
will stay.
I want to check on my fellow changeling.
Keep an eye on Kai. Don't need them falling over as well.
You got it. There's a door behind me. Come over here. Yeah, I come in swathed in big old robe.
Chiron is currently making sure that Zeke is eaten. Yes, Zeke, you are being mothered hen.
You're fine. I was just gonna say that Zeke probably would have told you that he had eaten.
Roll me deception. Because I bet you that's a deception, not a persuasion.
Make sure to roll it privately.
Yep. Chiron, I need insight.
Yep, getting it. A reminder that we both have disadvantage, so give me a moment. There.
There's no bowls or anything for them to have eaten from.
Yeah. I am going to grab a ration, and I am going to put it in front of Zeke. Eat.
Zeke would listen. Sorry.
You're good.
But
Chiron is
Go ahead.
then, yeah. I am the, yeah. Once making sure that they both eat, I'm just gonna go sit in a chair and just kind of slump.
Fair, you see Noman come in behind you.
Nods at him.
How is everyone doing in here?
Z has hypothermia. Just made Zeke eat.
Zeke is noticeably buried under the blankets.
Is anyone else? Well, I guess only Chiron would be able to answer. Do you think it's odd that absolutely no one has come to even check on us or inform us what's going on in, I guess, 30 hours now?
We were told that they were on lockdown. We are in no condition to fight. Those who are not fighters are in hiding, and those that are fighting are fighting. No, I am not surprised they haven't come to check on us.
Still, I don't like being out of the loop of information. It's anathema to myself. I like knowing things. If you wish, I could go and give a little look around.
I would highly suggest against it. None of us are in the condition to fight, and if you go out there and get ambushed, you're screwed. We were told to stay put. We were told to rest. To do anything else is suicidal.
Fair point. Fair point.
Not only that, but you're one of the more able-bodied at the moment. You leaving right now would leave those of us that are not up to stuff. You're leaving us without much protection.
Able-bodied. I don't know why. I don't know why Elise trusted me with the rope. Honestly, that was crazy.
Points at Zeke, exhausted. Points at themselves, exhausted. Farley, and points to the door, exhausted. Points at Z behind, exhausted and hypothermia.
Hmm.
Right now, you and Elise are the most able-bodied out of the group.
I don't have proficiency in medicine, but can I roll to see if I would know a good way to help deal with hypothermia?
Just a heads up, it's hypothermia. Hyper.
Isn't that what I said? Hypothermia?
Hypo.
That's what I'm saying. Hypothermia.
I keep hearing So I'm just
Oh,
making sure we have the right one.
Yeah.
It's hyper is heat, hypo is cold.
Also known as sunstroke.
Yeah.
Yeah, but can I roll medicine to see if I know how a way to treat hypothermia?
No, that would be something you would need training in. Your best bet is keep them warm.
Well, I don't know much about medicine or anything, but if being cold is an issue, the best way I know to keep warm is having someone in bed with you.
Wrong.
Goes and lays on them. You just see cat mode activated.
Cat on cat. Just purring along. 2 of them at a time.
Yep. Not only that, but I is tiefling. I am warm.
A hot feline on feline action.
Oh my god. No, man!
I'm taking
I specifically
away a hero
avoided
point.
that.
I am taking away a hero point for that one.
I said
Uh,
feline.
I'm kidding.
I did not need that image in my head, Noman. What the fuck?
What image? I'm picturing like 2 kittens fighting or something.
We're gonna continue on.
Moving on.
But
Can you put me to the front so that I'm not underneath Z, please? I can't see my token. Thank you.
Oddly enough, they're not even on the fucking map. Gonna delete and refresh. Hang on. But what do you do, Noman? Do you remain in that room or go back?
everyone's getting some rest, so no one will head back. Gonna open the door, take a look down the hallway. Probably can't see anything, right?
It's just an empty
It's
hallway.
dark.
You don't see it immediately. You see immediately goes dark. The lights on this side are not lit.
The The one thing I do not like about being a changeling, I can turn into so many races that have dark vision, can see in the dark, but I can't see myself.
Noman, what in the hells are you doing?
What? I'm coming
I
back in
told
here.
you to keep watch. You're the only other one capable at the moment.
Better point, but no one's gonna head over here. I can't really do anything without my stuff. No one's gonna grab. Is my cloak dry yet?
It's getting there, but it's going to take a good long while.
It's still damp. Forget it. No one's gonna grab his rapier. All right, I'll be there. I'll be next door. Left all my shit in there.
Chiron, you hear the door open and close again.
At least yell at you.
Yes, but also I needed to get my sword.
Nod. Specifically, will nod at a chair.
Is there paper and pen here?
Yeah.
No one's gonna sit down, set his rapier to the side, and start writing things down.
Chiron is being space heater.
The hours start to stretch, getting longer and longer without sign of anyone from the city. You still don't know where your friends are. Nimona, having been up above Mhaldunn last you heard, you're not sure what's happened to her. Peaky, Snips, gone. At least you know where Z is. But now the kobolds have fallen quiet as well. The hours soon turn into a full night. All of you being able to rest, but not a sound ever coming from the city. No sound of the touch of Mhaldunn. Nothing. What do y'all do when you wake the next morning?
What's the rules for exhaustion loss?
You take away
Or
once
long
per
rest.
long rest.
Ugh, that is terrible.
Yep. The only way to get rid of it is I think like a level 5 or 6 spell. And that only takes
Yeah.
one level as well.
Lesser restoration, greater restoration.
I don't even think
Lesser
lesser can't.
restoration won't. Yeah, lesser won't do it. It's not a powerful enough spell.
Yeah. It's one of the higher level restorations. But yes, Zeke, it is a long rest.
Who's waking up first?
The first one to react will actually be Noman.
Noma's going to push himself off the desk. The papers he was jotting down notes on, probably sticking to his face. Hate waking up in jitters. Ugh. And he like peels the paper off. Does he hear anything coming from outside?
Nope.
Noma's gonna head over to the door and crack. It's one. If I remember correctly, you said that they slide open instead of like opening back and forth, right?
Correct.
Noma's gonna slide it open a little bit and take a peek outside.
Still just as dark. Almost as if nothing changed. You're not even sure how long you've been asleep. You feel well rested, but as far as you can tell, it might have been 5 minutes.
Either Lemon cracks his neck. Either we just had a 5-minute power nap, or it's been 8 hours and still nothing. Nolan's gonna head over to Chiron. Are they still doing the whole cat thing?
Yeah, you can see they're really out of it.
There's the one thing my mother taught me: never wake a sleeping cat.
They always wake a sleeping cat. I like annoying them.
Uh huh.
like
That's
the
why you get
kitty
clawed.
cat. Yeah. I
That's-
like the kitty cat wake up or start up sound.
No. That being said, Noman, when you approach, they're out of it, but they look at you. I don't technically sleep.
Chiron, there's still nothing going on. Are we sure we shouldn't go investigate?
You'll see their eyes flash to Zeke. Exhausted. Looks out the door. Exhausted.
Yes,
Looks
but-
down. Not awake. We are liabilities. They are speaking to you. They sound tired.
You're in charge, so I'll defer to you. But still, this is very concerning.
They'll nod.
It's been almost a whole. I think it's been almost a whole day. I'll be back. I'm going to go check on Elise and Farley.
They'll nod.
We'll head over to the door, grab a sword, peek out.
Still unchanged.
Silently as you can, he'll close it behind him. And peek in from here.
You see Elise waiting in one of the chairs.
Everything okay in here?
He's still asleep. I'm going to get him up in a bit so he can eat, but it's been quiet.
Yes, way too quiet. I don't like this at all.
Quiet is good, we need the respite. It means we're being left alone. If there's danger, it'll either come to us or avoid us.
Hey, but if there's danger, it could just be building more and more.
Yes, and half of us aren't up to the fight. You and I are, and probably Chiron at this point, are the only ones prepared to actually fight. Farley, Zeke, and Z are still out of it, and will probably be out of it for a day or two more.
Fair enough. Let me go get my cloak and stuff, so I can be properly prepared in case something happens.
It's dry. It's on the shelf beside you.
Thank you. Noman will put on his cloak, changing into his normal clothes, put on his armor. Once fully donned, he'll head back to the other room.
Anything from Farley while the conversation's going on? Blue?
Blue!
Blue man group. Up the
Oh,
typing.
they're typing.
He nods to God.
I'm pretty sure he's resty. That's supposed to be rest.
And we are back. The party is settled in. Not much going on. What would y'all like to do?
I am going to see if I can wake up Z. Because at this point it's been a couple of days, and the fact that they're still asleep is really concerning.
They don't move in the slightest. Their body temperature is still relatively low. It's been slowly rising, but not very quickly.
Is there some way? Because I run hot. And I know, due to my infernal heritage, that I have some control of fire. Is there some way that I can pump some heat into Z?
Unfortunately, not skin to skin's your best bet, but you have been slowly raising their temperature.
Okay. I am going to continue to sit to lay on Z and think warm thoughts. I be fate eater.
Hypothermia
Warm.
takes several days to really work through, in minor cases, significantly longer and higher.
Fair enough. Thinking warm thoughts. I will defrost you.
But yet again, the hours begin to tick by. No sign of anything. Z doesn't move. Zeke is remaining quiet. At least on the other end, Farley is staring at the ceiling with blank eyes.
Liz has made him eat a few times. But she's no therapist.
Nothing changes. So what will you do? It seems you wait. And wait. Another full day passes. Getting another long rest. The morning comes, and still nothing has changed. Will you continue to wait?
Noman is going to look over the notes that he's been jotting down, and he's going to remember something.
Okay.
Chiron's awake, right?
By this point, yeah.
Yeah, they don't technically sleep.
Hey, Chiron. So I've been writing down, a brief synopsis of what has been going on. Little in-depth character descriptions of all of us from my stories, And I just recalled something as I was jotting it down. Don't you need to eat?
Chiron will nod.
What happens if you don't eat for, let's see, it's been a couple of days now.
3.
Yes, 3 days. And while I'm sure we've all been eating, I don't think I've seen you actually eat anything.
The food that you eat does not give me any nutrition.
Yes, I know what you eat, but you haven't eaten that specific thing in 3 days. So my question remains: what happens if you don't eat for a long period of time?
I get really tired.
Then shouldn't you ask someone to feed you?
Nobody's been strong enough.
I mean,
Or let me rephrase that. There's not been enough of you strong enough. Zeke is only just starting to look like a normal person again.
I think at this point, Zeke, you're fully rested now.
Yeah. They would have lost both levels of exhaustion by now. I think Farley's the only one that still has them.
Arlie has 2, and yeah, Zeke no longer has any.
I think we got 3, me, Zeke, ideas. Yeah, I think we got 3 people who could help you if you need.
Are you offering blood there, Noman?
Can you drink changeling blood? I don't know the science behind this.
It's not like your blood's poisonous.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
They reach out a hand.
Just as you're reaching out, taking the hand in your own, finally about to be able to feed, right before you do, the ground quakes, shaking with an almighty rage.
Holy shit! We have to roll.
Chiron lets go of you and kind of sits up. They leap over the bed onto the table, weapons drawn.
You
Should I
feel
roll
it
it?
start to
Go ahead.
calm before it starts again, quaking everything. You see dust falling from the stone ceiling above.
So, as I gain my feet back underneath me, safe to assume we probably should not stay here, right? I mean, that sounded like it would bring the whole place down around us.
We'll never make it up to. We don't know how to get out of the tunnels. We'll never make it up to the surface alive if it's coming down.
Y'all did see when y'all were in the main room far to the north, there were stairs that led up. When y'all were being toured, y'all were told that's how you get up.
Wasn't there a staircase that leads up from the main room?
Maybe.
Well, that seems like a better bet than staying in a small confined space to be crushed to death by hundreds of thousands of tons of stone.
You don't hear the creak of the rock you would expect from a near collapse. It's just the ground is shaking.
Go get Elise and Farley. Have them come in here.
Right? No, when it's over. Elise, Farley, did you feel that?
Yes.
Pick up Sleeping Beauty. Carla wants everyone in the same room.
Got it. Don't bother getting up. I got you.
Look, I'm fine now. Ah,
Not an option, Farley.
fine.
least we'll carry Farley over to the other room. What's the plan, Chiron?
That's currently what we're trying to decide. Farley's still tired. They're still exhausted. And Z hasn't woken up yet. Her body temp's too low. But we can't necessarily just leave them here alone if we go out to go fight. Which means that we've got an unconscious individual that we're dragging around.
I could carry them. Maybe that much extra weight.
How big is Z in their cat form?
About 7 feet tall.
Jesus.
She's more lanky.
Same height
though.
as Elise.
She's significantly more lanky than the sturdiness of Elise. The Tabaxis are known to be tall creatures, but very lanky.
Bindley.
If I recall correctly, Z's shapeshifting doesn't come from being a changeling, it comes from a ring, right?
Yes.
What would happen if we took the ring off?
You have no idea. It could force them back, trap them in this form. You're not entirely sure how it works. As they never explained.
And that's if we can even take it off. It's probably best to keep them in that form, especially since it's keeping them warm.
Yep.
Yeah, no point. Just bundle them up and tie them on. Should be able to carry them out if someone wants to take our gear.
Yeah. Chiron will grab Z's gear and then get the blanket and just start wrapping them up. Zeke, can I borrow your blanket?
Zeke will come over and hand Chiron the blanket.
We're double burritoing this cat.
Fair?
Knowing you were
And-
handed an explorer's pack, by the way.
And then I will tie a rope around them so that the blankets don't go anywhere. And then, Elise, I will help tie them to your back.
How much does the cold cat weigh, CC?
Probably 160, 170.
I'll put 165 then.
I'm pretty sure shapeshifting doesn't actually change your actual weight. Like conservation of the mass and all that.
It would. Because otherwise it'd just be illusion.
Easy enough weight for Elise.
You want to know why? Magic.
The explanation to all things.
Yep.
You know, in that case, wouldn't they warm up faster if me and Zeke turned into cat people as well and just cuddled?
It could.
Would have been good to think of that earlier.
I was being a little space heater.
Yeah, you also have the extra heat of the tiefling. But you'll get them tied up relatively easy. They don't fight in the slightest.
I am specifically going to draw my short sword. You lot ready?
Are we going up or down? It's a question. So we could leave, or we could go deeper into the mines and just go.
We're not going into the mine.
Yeah.
That's suicide. That being said, let's look around a little bit, see if we can find anyone. If we can't, we'll go up.
We're just going to check the mess hall and then go.
Mess hall in the I'm drawing a blank of what it's called, but it's the room that we tell the stories in.
Oh,
The-
the auditorium.
Yeah.
Bristol Auditorium.
Yep. Chiron's gonna go ahead and
You see yet again, Chiron, as you exit. There are no lights in Mhaldunn.
Chiron is going to grab Other's rope and tie the party together.
Okay.
We are moving as a unit.
Is most of the party just blind as shit? Or y'all lighting any
Yep.
lights as y'all are going?
Yeah. So I would say, are we going to bother with being in the dark?
I was gonna do this stealthily just in case
Eh.
at the moment.
Just realized Elise is clomping down the corridor. He can't get away from that.
Even more so when they're in the dark, they can't see what they're stepping into.
Ah, fuck. Okay, I'm pulling out my dagger so it's shedding some light.
Okay.
And then then nix the rope. No point if we're gonna have light.
You come back into the room. Or not the room, the hallway, and nothing. Not a sound. Other than the rumbling from high above.
Okay. I am keeping an eye out and all of that, so if at any point you need me to roll perception or stealth, do let me know.
Will do. And you take the right fork, moving along the paths, leaving behind the rooms in which you were left in by Demetrios. And you find the library dark, the fire not lit, none of the candles lit, the only soft glow from the table in the very center.
I poke around in this room to see if this one was
Farley and Nomans.
Farley and Noman's. Then it was this one that was
Yes.
these. Okay. And in that case, I'm gonna take out my thieves' tools and actually, I'm gonna look for the key in these stuff.
It doesn't take long to find it.
Okay, I'm gonna unlock the door. I'm gonna look around, see if there was anything that they left that we need to take with.
Not that you see. Everything's neat and tidy.
Okay.
Looks like they were keeping their gear on them in case something went wrong.
Which is completely fair and valid, but I wanted to check before we left. I'm gonna check this room.
You open the door, you find this one was actually cracked open. And find a small family den. A
Okay.
room for 2 adults and some kids.
Okay. Empty.
Empty.
I'm gonna keep on moving.
Noman, as you look into the fireplace, you notice it looks like the coals haven't been lit for a while. This fireplace is ice cold.
I'm
For
starting.
reference.
Hmm?
Oh, go ahead, Noman. Go ahead, Noman.
I'm starting to think this place we might have been abandoned.
We were told that they went into lockdown. It was attacked. It was breached. That being said, Chiron is specifically trying to see if they can find Nemona's room.
Nimona never came in here. You do know that.
Oh, okay.
Nimona was staying above Mhaldunn, never coming into the city proper.
We're all just being dragged behind Chiron.
Yep. As you continue the path, as not a sound echoes. Nothing. Even when you walk into the mess hall, you see there's food left out on some plates, as if they were in the middle of something. But the fires aren't lit, the torches aren't lit. The food as well is cold. I knew I forgot something. You walk into the
Sorry,
room
Cece.
for once, seeing plenty of greenery and large mushrooms. The grass is kept short. You see under some of the larger mushrooms small pens. But yet again, no light, no people.
Okay.
Hurting around the place. Jeez.
Yeah, I have no idea where Chiron just went.
Just directly south.
If it makes you feel any better, I keep losing my token too.
You see off to your left the soft burning of the magma that makes up the forge. The forge itself looks no different than last time you were here. Projects half done within the forge itself. No people. As you exit, you see the staircases behind you leading back up.
Is it this one?
Yeah.
Okay. Chiron's basically gonna skirt around to see, go to like the auditorium, just the general area. If it's much the same, then they're going to
Nothing.
go back up the stairs. Okay.
Dead silent.
Up we go.
And as you do, the first time, you go up onto the next floor to find nothing. The city on the next floor is also empty. This one usually being used for what looks like families, though the families are not there. So you continue making your way up. And you see almost a trading hub up here, a place where market stalls should be. And they are there, but they aren't manned. But it's on the other side of this merchant section you see the damage of the city. As, while the walls are untouched, they are scorched black. And everything that usually decorates the interior has been decimated. You can now hear the sounds of what sounds like explosions.
Chiron's gonna be even more careful to start stealthing. Getting us up, trying to figure out where those explosions are coming from.
It takes a little bit of walking, but you do find it. Traveling through the decimated part of the city, you see two great gates in the distance, one hanging off its hinges, the other one on the ground nearby. And outside, you see something you haven't seen in a fair few days now. The sun. Beaming bright.
I am going to put the dagger away and start to blink up, still staying hidden.
As you do, you find yourself walking out onto the mountainside. A large cliff with a winding path down, and underneath it, a field coated in blood and bodies. It seems the Legion has been trying to hold this place, but they have lost a lot. But for every Legionnaire that has fallen, twice as many goblins have joined them. There are hundreds of bodies down there, and you can see more fighting in the distance. Flashes of light. The sound of steel on steel. You could hear people, even at this distance, dying. War has found Mhaldunn, and the Legion is trying to hold their home.
Is there somewhere nearby that we can hide Z?
You know, if you saw on the way through, there are plenty of rooms you can go and put them in. Some of them in not as bad conditions as it looks like the fighting has left this area for the most part. But just inside the gate, you do see there is a much taller section, looking like it's for people that come to visit, where you can leave them. There's a soft bed there.
They need help. Let's hide Z here. The best we can do. And if the tunnel comes down, at the very least, it shouldn't bury them.
You're sure about it? Just worry about leaving them alone if something gets past the lines.
If
I'm-
something gets past the lines, they're unconscious. They're as good as dead anyway. But if we take them onto the battlefield, they're dead 100%.
If you're
If we
certain... Oh, go ahead.
fail, if we fail, we're all dead anyway.
If you're
Okay.
certain... Oh, good.
Go ahead.
If you're certain that nothing will disturb them if they're up here while we're fighting, like nothing will crush them or attack them, I can cast invisibility on them.
Good idea.
How long does that last?
An hour.
An hour.
If we're still fighting in an hour, well...
You won't even be down to the battlefield in an hour.
Oh, is that... Damn, it's that far away?
Mm-hmm. Y'all are a good distance away. Y'all can also see the camp line where the Legion is set up. They are now a distance away, pushing the goblins away from Mhaldunn.
So we see a camp. Is it a camp that we could realistically leave Z in and for them to be safer with other people
Yes.
on our side? Okay, then let's leave them there. Because if we can leave them with other people, that's all the better. I have a feeling we were the last ones in Mhaldunn. So let's go leave them at basically the base tent.
Works for me.
As y'all come out, Z still strapped to Elise's back. You notice that it is very bright. You've been in the underground for days, and your eyes are struggling to adjust to now the very bright situation that is just the normal day. You're blinded by the sun, squinting and in pain. But then the party hears something. It's almost a whistling sound.
Looks in the direction of the whistling.
You're having trouble placing as it seems to be coming from all around, so you're looking around, and then you realize the whistling's coming from up towards the sun. And as you look up, you see in the sun there's a black speck. And just as you register it, it slams into the ground right in between the party, as the party sees for the briefest a moment a small black ball with a skull and crossbones printed on the side of it. Does anybody speak Goblin?
Nope.
Nope. I mean to learn.
How close is it to us?
It missed you by about 2 feet. And
Okay,
before you're
I-
able to do anything, you see it suddenly glows red and explodes, launching the party in different directions as y'all's bodies are ragdolled. But, as y'all are flying, that is where we're going to be leaving it. Good job, you guys. That was a lot of fun.
You motherfucker.
Yes.
For everybody that came along for the ride through our audio, I thank you for joining us as well, and I hope you come back next week to see just how this battle goes. Who knows what's going to be happening, and who knows how well the Legion's facing, if that's even the Legion down there. Guess we'll find out next time. Toodles!